afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's commission meeting. Before we begin, I'd like to ask everyone to please bow your head for a moment of silent reflection. And thank you. Okay, first we'll do our commissioner roll call, and then we'll proceed. So, Commissioner Urban.
Here.
Commissioner Belser.
Present.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Here.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Here.
Commissioner Howard.
Here.
Okay, we've got everybody. Before we begin, I just want to remind everyone that we do have oral arguments tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in the Blue Granite case. So just wanted to make sure everybody had that on your radar. And now we will turn it over to Mr. Minges for the agenda.
Afternoon, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. For our first item of business, the next staff recommends that the next commission business meeting be held on Wednesday, September 2nd at 2 o'clock.
Wednesday the 2nd, that's fine. Oh, and before we keep going, I want to remind all the commissioners, when you're speaking and making a motion, get close to your microphone because some of y'all were sounding a little bit like you were in a well. Okay, Mr. Minges.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On our utilities agenda, item number 1, docket number 2019-182E. This matter concerns a request to reconsider and modify the current procedural schedule.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Howard.
Mr. Chairman, in docket number 219-182E, the parties have requested separate proceedings for number 1, generic docket concerning methodology for valuing the energy produced by customer generators and the cost-benefit analysis of net energy metering, and number 2, solar choice tariff. Based on feedback from the parties, I move that procedural schedule for these generic dockets concerning methodology for valuing the energy produced by consumer generators and the cost-benefit analysis of net energy metering shall be as follows. Number 1, deadline for petition to intervene is September the 17th. Deadline for all parties' direct testimony is October the 8th. Deadline for rebuttal testimony is October the 29th, and the hearing date is October the 17th. For establishing a procedural schedule for the solar choice tariff proceedings, I move that the Commission request that the parties submit suggested procedural schedules no later than Monday, August the 31st at 5 p.m. These proposed schedules should take into account the March the 3rd, 2021 deadline for the Commission to issue final orders. Specifically, the proposed order from the party should be submitted to the Commission no later than February the 3rd, 2021, which is 4 weeks before the final order deadline. Lastly, I move the Commission have a hearing on solar choice tariff for Duke Energy Carolinas and Duke Energy Progress for a separate hearing on the solar choice tariff for Dominion Energy of South Carolina. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Howard's motion. Are there questions or comments? Hearing none.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Butler.
I apologize.
That's okay.
Could I get clarification on what Commissioner Howard said was the hearing date in that schedule, please? Just for the record, I thought I understood him to say October 17th, but I could be mistaken.
Decision for intervene is September the 17th.
Yes, sir, and then the hearing date?
Deadline for all parties is October the 8th.
Yes, sir.
Deadline for rebuttal testimony is October 29th, and the hearing date is November 17th.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Howard. Apologize for interrupting.
Okay, so we're good
Mr.
on
Chairman,
that.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, any questions, any other questions or comments? Okay, if not, Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Belser?
I vote aye.
Commissioner Whitfield?
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton?
Aye.
Commissioner Howard?
Aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Chairman, item 2, docket number 2019-182E. This matter concerns other, this item concerns other matters in that 182E docket.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Whitfield.
Mr. Chairman, Section 58-40-20 of Act 62 states in part that the Commission shall open a generic docket to investigate and determine the cost and benefits of utilities' current net energy metering programs. Assessing the value of distributed energy resources requires an analysis of a broad range of impacts that DER has on a utility, its customers, including customer generators or prosumers, and society. A cost-benefit analysis is an important tool in conducting such an assessment. Under Act 62, each utility shall conduct a cost-benefit analysis of its renewable energy net energy metering programs over 10 years and report the results to the Commission. In the interest of consistency, the Commission has created guidelines for utilities to follow when preparing these cost-benefit analyses. I move that we approve the guidelines created for the creation of these cost-benefit analyses with a written order defining the specific factors to be addressed to all affected parties to follow. In addition, Section 58-41-40A of Act 62 states that it is the intent of the General Assembly to expand the opportunity to support distributed renewable energy generation and storage, and to support access to distributed renewable energy generation, and storage options for all South Carolinians, including those who lack the income to afford the upfront investment in renewable energy and storage. To promote that goal, Mr. Chairman, I move that the Commission, one, request that utilities provide to the Commission the best practices concerning net energy metering from other utilities and other states, particularly those in the Southeast, and two, require utilities to provide a forecast of solar distributed generation in their service territories for the next 10 years. A final order elaborating on these matters will be issued. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Whitfield's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not, Commissioner Hamilton?
Aye.
Commissioner Howard?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Belzer?
I vote aye.
Commissioner Whitfield?
Aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 3, docket number 2018-401E. We have a request for approval of settlement agreement and mutual release.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belzer?
I move that the Commission grant Beulah Solar LLC's request for approval of the settlement agreement and mutual release with Dominion Energy South Carolina effective June 30th, 2020. In addition, I move that the Commission grant the request for confidential treatment of the settlement agreement and close the docket. So move.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Belzer's motion. Are there questions or comments? Hearing none. Commissioner Whitfield?
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton?
Aye.
Commissioner Howard?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Belzer?
I vote aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Chairman, item number 4, docket number 2019-51E. Similar to item 3, we have a request for approval of the settlement agreement and mutual release.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belzer?
I move that the Commission grant Eastover Solar LLC's request for approval of the settlement agreement and mutual release with Dominion Energy South Carolina, effective August 12th, 2020. In addition, I move that the Commission grant the request for confidential treatment of the settlement agreement and that the docket be closed. So moved.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Belcher's motion. Are there questions or comments? Hearing none. Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Howard?
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton?
Aye.
Commissioner Whitfield?
Aye.
Commissioner Belcher?
I vote aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 5, docket number 2020-83E. This item concerns Duke Energy Carolinas LLC's amended application regarding demand-side management and energy efficiency programs in Rider 12.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belcher?
on March the 2nd, 2020, Duke Energy Carolinas filed an application seeking approval of Rider 12 to its demand-side management and energy efficiency programs. In conjunction, Duke also requests that it be allowed to recover the cost of its interruptible service and standby generator programs as a component of Rider 12. On May 11th of 2020, Duke Energy Carolinas filed amended exhibits to correct 3 errors in the original application. Duke Energy Carolinas seeks recovery of $77,043,996, with $45,335,574, or approximately 59%, attributed to residential customers, and $31,708,422, or approximately 41%, attributed to non-residential customers. The Office of Regulatory Staff filed a review report of this matter. Based on its review, ORS recommends a reduction of $15,568 to the company's total system program cost to account for the removal of certain expenses that were either not allowable for rate-making purposes or lacked appropriate documentation for cost recovery. While the exception of the non-residential Energy-Wise for Business program and the non-residential Information Technology Energy Efficiency program, ORS found that Duke's other programs continue to perform well and recommends approval. Realized cumulative energy savings have exceeded the anticipated energy savings by 46%. And although the number of non-residential opt-outs has increased slightly, ORS states that the company continues to work directly with large non-residential customers in an effort to entice those customers to participate. ORS also found that the updated demand-side management and energy efficiency rate riders were developed in accordance with the terms and conditions set forth by the Commission and are based on reasonable estimates of participation in the company's demand-side management and energy efficiency programs. Accepting the ORS adjustment, an average residential customer using 1,000 kilowatts per month would experience an increase of approximately $1.10 per month. Interveners, NAACP, South Carolina Coastal Conservation League, Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, and Upstate Forever have filed extensive comments, particularly with regard to low-income programs such as the Neighborhood Energy Saver Program and the Income Qualified Weatherization Program. Intervenor Walmart has filed comments regarding the ability of non-residential customers to opt out of energy efficiency and demand response measures. I move that based on the information presented in Duke Energy Carolina's amended application and the ORS report, that the Commission approve Rider 12 to Duke's demand-side management and energy efficiency programs for the calendar year 2021, reduced by the $15,568 as recommended by ORS, along with recovery of costs associated with Duke's existing interruptible service and standby generator programs. Lastly, While Duke states that the instant docket is not the forum for the commission to consider the implementation of the intervener's comments, I note that Duke Energy Carolinas has filed an application for approval of a revised cost recovery mechanism for demand-side management and energy efficiency in docket number 298E. The comments and issues raised by the interveners in the current docket may be addressed in the proceeding reviewing DEC's application of a revised cost recovery mechanism for demand-side management and energy efficiency programs pending in docket number 2013-298-E. That's my motion.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Belcher's motion. Are there questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belcher.
for clarification on why I think that the issues raised by the interveners should be addressed in that docket. In docket 2013-298E, the Commission approved Duke Energy Carolinas cost recovery mechanism and portfolio of demand-side management and energy efficiency programs under Rider 5. The parties in that docket had a settlement agreement, and as part of that settlement agreement, which was approved by the Commission order, the parties agreed that the parties would review the terms and conditions of the mechanism every 4 years and submit any proposed changes to the Commission for approval. That any party to the docket could request that the Commission initiate such a review, or that the Commission on its own accord could initiate such a review at any time within the 4-year period. I have not located any order or of the Commission where such a review has been done. Therefore, I think it is appropriate that when the interveners raise these issues, that they have a forum where those issues can be discussed and heard. Encourage the parties to discuss those issues with the interveners to see if resolution can be reached. If not, we can address those in the hearing that I think is set for sometime in November. To the extent that the notice of filing in that docket has already been issued, I think that the Commission can issue a new notice and include that these issues be included in that docket. And that's why I made that motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. Commissioner Whitfield.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton. Commissioner Hamilton.
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Howard.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Belcher.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 6, docket number 2020-125E. You have the establishment of a procedural schedule.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Mr. Chairman, on June 18th, 2020, Dominion Energy South Carolina, ORS, the Southern Environmental Law Center, the Coastal Conservation League, and the Sierra Club submitted comments regarding the procedural schedule, as well as whether Dominion shall update its test period results for the historical test period for known and measurable changes through September 30th, 2020, and requested establishing the last day for discovery requests to be made. The hearing in this matter is scheduled to begin on January 5th, 2021, and Hearing Officer Directive 2020-79-H has set the procedural schedule using input from the parties. The Commission shall address these other matters raised by the parties in their letters. In this matter, Mr. Chairman, I move that Dominion shall maintain the historical test period as 12 months ended December 31, 2019, which is January 1, 2019 through December 31, 2019, and that Dominion is further required to update its historical test period results for known and measurable changes as of September 30th, 2020. I further move that the commission deny the request to change or set a discovery period in this new docket or to otherwise shorten the discovery response time of a party. Commission Regulations 103-833 and 103-835 provide parties with a discovery structure to use, as well as imposes a duty for parties to supplement responses as provided by the South Carolina Rules of Civil Procedure 26E. While the commission is authorized to adjust discovery schedules, time periods, or response times on a case-by-case basis, the commission finds at this time that good cause or urgency does not exist to alter or amend the normal discovery schedule or response time established by these commission regulations. Nothing shall prevent any party in this docket from requesting a discovery-related response time change or any other request in this docket as it proceeds toward hearing, or prevent the commission from revisiting any discovery issue requested by a party. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Whitfield's motion. Are there questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser.
as with any rate case, we are under some fairly strict guidelines or deadlines to issue an order. And the parties are under some strict guidelines or deadlines to have testimony filed and get their cases prepared as well. While I certainly agree with Commissioner Whitfield's motion that at this point there is no need to change any of the commission or waive any of the commission regulations regarding these deadlines, I hope that the parties will be cooperative and that the parties, should they need for the commission or the hearing officer to weigh in on any kind of motions related to discovery, that they not hesitate to file those. That's what we're here for, to make sure that the parties have a fair hearing and opportunity to present their cases, and that's what we stand ready to do. So I just, even though this is the beginning of the proceeding and we're kind of, I agree that we shouldn't waive any regulations at this time. Should it become apparent that time is of the essence or other good cause, I think we will look at those matters as they arise. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser, and that was well said and necessary, so I appreciate you making those comments. Any other comments or questions? Not? Commissioner Hamilton?
Aye.
Commissioner Howard?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Belser?
I vote aye.
Commissioner Whitfield?
Aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 7, docket number 2020-226E. This matter concerns a procedural request made by Sierra Club.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Howard?
Mr. Chairman, on August the 7th, 2020, the Sierra Club made two requests for consideration by the Commission relating to discovery issues. First, the Sierra Club requested that Dominion serve and include within 1 business day of the filing of the pre-file rebuttal testimony its working papers and supporting documents related to Dominion's updated IRP analysis and rebuttal testimony. Second, the Sierra Club requests that the period for a party to respond to discovery requests from 20 days to 7 days. Lastly, the Sierra Club also requests that the Commission set a date certain for a hearing date. I move the Commission grant the request of the Sierra Club as outlined and modified below. First, the Sierra Club provide good cause for its request. There is an existing need and sense of urgency in this docket among the parties to timely complete their pre-filed testimony for the Commission to shorten or alter the normal discovery period or response time provided by Commission regulations. As provided by South Carolina Regulation number 103-2, dash 829A, there has been no response filed within 20 days or otherwise after service on this August the 7th request to oppose or object to these requests by the Sierra Club. The requesting working papers and supporting documents are that which Dominion uses with its revised analysis in response to requests of ORS and other parties to address additional scenarios, adjust certain assumptions, and correct certain transcript and formula errors identified during discovery. I move the Commission find that these materials are needed to assist the ORS and other parties of their review of the filings, testimonies, materials, and matters, as well as determine the additional discovery is needed. I move that the Commission order Dominion to serve the parties with a copy of its working papers and supporting documents related to Dominion's updated IRP analysis and rebuttal testimony no later than September the 1st, 2020, which is 2 business days after Dominion files its rebuttal testimony. I further move that the Commission shorten and amend the minimum time period for a party to respond to the discovery request from 20 days to 7 days. Hearing the existing document, the Commission finds that good cause is needed and urgency exists to alter or amend normal discovery schedule established by Commission regulations. Lastly, I move the Commission reschedule a hearing on this matter to the week of October the 12th, 2020, the hearing beginning at 10 a.m. on Monday, October the 12th, and continue each day thereafter at the call of the chair until completed. The parties are instructed to reserve the following Monday through Wednesday of the following week, which is October the 19th through the 12th, as possible hearing dates. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Howard's motion. Are there questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Belser.
This is another docket where we are, the parties and the commission are under some tight time constraints that the matter needs to be decided within 300 days of the filing of the IRP. I believe that's the statutory limit. Dominion came to the commission, a month or so ago, indicated that they were requesting additional time because they were going to run, I believe it was 120 or 140 new inputs that had been requested by the parties with regard to the discovery in the IRP docket. And they needed additional time to do that, and that certainly made a lot of sense and was certainly needed to allow Dominion to run those analyses. And so once they were granted that time, it became apparent that the other parties would need time to review those inputs. I do note, and as Commissioner Howard noted, that this letter from the Sierra Club was filed, I believe, on August the 7th, and no party has objected to the request therein. And therefore, I think it is appropriate, and I thank Commissioner Howard for his motion setting forth this, and I will be supporting it, and just appreciate the parties working as they have to run these analysis. But now that the utility has run the analysis, these other parties certainly need expeditious access to the material so that they can complete their analyses and prepare their testimony as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Howard.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Aye.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Chairman, item number 8, docket number 2020-191G. We have a gas agreement.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Whitfield.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the agreement for transportation service with Firm Gas Standby between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Sumter Nutritionals LLC. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Whitfield's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not, Commissioner Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Howard,
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton,
Aye.
Commissioner Whitfield,
Aye.
and I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Chairman, turning to our transportation agenda, items number 1 through 3 are new applications that can be taken together. Item 1, docket 2020-187T, Aaron's Transportation Services, LLC. Item 2, docket 2020-193T, Letitia Page, German, DBA Bell's Medical Transport. Item 3, docket 2020-194T, Bright Hearts Home Care, LLC, DBA Bright Hearts Non-Medical Transportation.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Hamilton,
I would move that we approve items 1 through 3 as identified by Mr. Menges. So move, Mr. Chair.
thank you. You've heard Commissioner Hamilton's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not, Commissioner Howard,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Whitfield,
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton,
Aye.
and I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 4, docket number 2020-120T and docket number 2020-121T. We have a request for an extension of time.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belzer,
I move that the commission grant the request of MJS Transportation Service LLC for an extension of time until December 31, 2020, to comply with commission rules and regulations. Thank you.
thank you. You've heard Commissioner Belzer's motion. Are there questions or comments? Hearing none, Commissioner Whitfield,
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton,
Aye.
Commissioner Howard,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Belzer,
I vote aye.
and I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 5, docket number 2018-216T. We have a request for reinstatement.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Whitfield,
Mr. Chairman, I move that we grant the request of ART Transportation LLC for reinstatement of Class C non-emergency certificate number 9390. The Office of Regulatory Staff has reviewed this matter and has no objection to the applicant's request for reinstatement.
thank you. You've heard Commissioner Whitfield's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not, Commissioner Hamilton,
Aye.
Commissioner Howard,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Belzer,
I vote no, Mr. Chairman, due to the amount of time that has lapsed from when the certificate was originally canceled and then suspended. It was canceled in February of this year. That's just a long time, in my opinion.
okay, thank you. Commissioner Whitfield,
Aye.
and I vote aye, and the motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes today's agenda.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone for being here today, for participating. I want to remind everyone that we do have oral arguments in the morning at 10 a.m. right here virtually. So if there's nothing else to come before us, we are adjourned.